to ask me questions about book club. So, you guys heard the questions I asked you.
Are we gonna go like in a
circle? Whoever wants to ask first.
No,
just make sure you speak up so that I can get it on the computer.
I say Ian should go first.
So, Miss Gilbert.
Yes, Mr. Ian.
How do you feel about book club?
Well, I don't think I make any secret that it is one of my favorite things about this whole job experience. I really look forward to book club days. You know, I get excited about it. I like to see you guys all in one room, and I like to hear what you guys are thinking about. And I think that we've done something really good here in that we've made an environment, and I'm using the word we because it's not me, it's you guys. We've made an environment where I feel like I can be myself. You know, several of you mentioned in your interviews that you like book club because you feel like you can be yourself here. I feel like I can be myself. I don't feel like I have to be Mrs. Gilbert while I am sitting here. I mean, I try to be myself all the time anyway, but there's something to be said for not standing up in front of a room of bored faces. I get to sit down at a table of bored faces. And it feels good. But I really like book club. Book club and creative writing are the real highlights for me in my week.
Do you think book club would be different at a normal high school?
Do I think book club would be different at a normal high school? Yes, but maybe not in the way you think. So I think what would be different about it is because you guys would be seeing each other every day, I think book club might feel a little bit less special because, you know, you would be seeing each other every day anyway. And I think because of that, that might add in a dynamic to, it might take you guys a little bit longer to get to your authentic selves. What I mean by that is, if you just had to deal with some drama with the person sitting next to you out in the hall, or you've overheard them having drama with somebody, and then you come in and you have to sit down at book club, I think the first 20 minutes of book club, you would be thinking about whatever happened in the hall. It's not that I don't trust you guys to get past it, but I think that would change it. The other thing, you know, if I were teaching in a normal high school, I think I would still have a classroom library. I would still let you guys choose whatever books you wanted to read, so that wouldn't change for me. But I think that we have a real luxury here in that we have all the time we want. I mean, we try to wrap it up by a certain time, but we're not listening for a bell to cut off conversation. And I think it would be different just because there'd be more clubs. And so I wouldn't get to be a participant in each group like I do with you guys. That's a good question.
Do you think it's important to have both public school students and homeschoolers to be in the same club?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I think that's one of the things that's been so great about our school is that I think we are a place where people can fit. I think there's a place for people to fit here. And I homeschooled, private schooled, public schooled. Everybody's coming from a different background. You know, and I think that those things just don't matter when we sit down. I think what matters is we're ourselves. You know, you guys, we've had friends around our table that have had really horrible things happen this year. And what I've been really proud of with you guys is that when we do come together, I just think it doesn't change. You know, I'm thinking about our friend who had the car accident and how that could have been really hard to come back to school and everybody looking at you like damaged goods. That didn't happen. And I think it speaks highly to the people, to you guys, that didn't happen. At the same time, you know, others have had other things happen in their lives and, you know, didn't change who we were as people. So I like that. I like that about this group. It's your turn. Anything else?
Do you think book club would be different if like every single one of the kids in the or in like our online school was required to be in it?
Wow.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to amend your question a bit, only because everyone in the high school is required except for Marnay to be in it, and she chooses to come.
Oh, yeah.
So there are students here that are required to be in it, but for whatever reason don't come, and that's their choice. I think what would be different is if I forced people to come. I've made it a requirement, and I've attached consequences to not choosing to come, which is this is graded, right? You guys have said if it's important enough for us to show up, we should get credit for it. I agree. So there are people who choose not to come, and therefore choose to get no credit. My feeling is if you want to be here, I want you to be here. If you don't want to be here, don't. This is meant to be a place where readers who want to have a conversation come together, and I think anytime you force somebody who doesn't, this isn't an intervention, it's not a reading intervention. We think you have a problem. So, yeah, I think as the numbers fluctuate, I mean every book club is different. Yesterday was very different than today, because there were more people and there were different people here, and so I think that's one of the things I like about it is that it's a different group every time. And it's a different experience every time. I'm sorry, did that answer? Mm-hmm. Okay. Sorry, go ahead, Marnay.
Do you think that this book club helps show the individuality in each member?
Gosh, yes, and what a great question, because I feel like I've gotten to know you guys more through book club than anything else. Like you guys all turn in papers and things like that, but I think, for example, if I put out a stack of 10 books on this table, I could probably guess who would pick which book. Not that you're predictable, but I think that's kind of cool. And as a teacher, I really like that I can get to know kind of about you and your likes, and that's kind of fun. I feel like I'm a member of the book club, and thank you all for saying that you felt that way too, because I feel like I come and I talk about the books I am reading, and I love to read. I don't know if you guys knew that.
No, I never would have guessed. I thought it was just on a whim.
It is.
This club.
Just sort of pulled that out of the air. So yeah. So the one question you guys haven't asked me is the question I've asked all of you.
Ian should ask it, because we both said two
I
questions.
don't know what you guys are
I think
talking
I know
about.
it.
What is the question?
Does it have to do with the creative writing class?
No.
No.
Well, no. What was the first question I asked each of you? And I told you it was my essential question.
Wasn't
What
it?
do you think book club does to the online school, or what do you
No. It was,
This is fun.
what do you think book club is like in an online school?
That is close.
Oh, no.
Question is, what happens when...
What happens in a book club?
What have book club?
What
happens
happens
when
in
you
the
have
book
book
club?
club?
Stays in the
And
book club.
Wait, thank you for asking, Kealohi. What happens when you have a book club in an online high school?
Chaos
What a cool
ensues.
question.
A lot of chaos happens.
Yes. So
And
what I think happens is that kind of what you have all said. I think what happens is it has become the center, the heart of our school community, if you will. And hi, do you guys have a meeting in here? At what time?
30.
Okay, we'll be here till 12:30.
Okay.
We're doing an interview.
Excuse me.
Thanks. So I think what happens is that it becomes the heart of the school. But what I've also found is that I think that reading led to writing because of book club. We had the creative writing class. You guys realize I completely made that up over a weekend, right? You guys realize this?
No.
Some of you said, I want to do creative writing. And I was like, oh, well, let's do it. And and then I went in and I looked at the creative writing curriculum,
It's
and it was
crap.
so bad that I was like, I cannot make kids do this. And so I was sort of thinking and talking to some of you guys, and I know that the thing you like about book club is getting to be together. And I thought, well, why don't we just do a writing club? And then I thought, oh, I'm going to have to make up an entire curriculum. So I did.
Seemed pretty easy if you thought up in just one weekend.
It seems easy, doesn't it? Yeah. And I think it's fantastic. I think it's been working out. So what I will probably say in my research is that
Look at the camera.
reading. No, I'm not going to. I can't do it. Reading leads to writing, leads to community. What do you guys think about that?
So what does community lead to?
Smarter children.
Probably.
Sharing.
Well, I'll
World
tell
domination.
you. I think world domination is I'm building an army, and you're all part of it.
Great.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
can I be the commander?
Yes, we're a reading and writing army.
Oh,
the pen is mightier than the sword. I couldn't resist. No, I think this is what I think. I think.
What would happen if it was a keyboard?
Oh,
We'll draw on the wall and be like, take that, society.
that's right. I think learning happens when you're being social.
I like group work,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's the best thing that works than working by yourself.
I like group work if it's with a certain group of people.
If everybody's participating, right?
If not, then it's just not a good time.
Right. If one person is not participating, don't you feel even more angry about it? Don't you feel like you're getting cheated out of the experience?
Especially if
That
they're
always
sitting right
happens.
next to you.
When I used to go to the high school, we get into groups, and there'd be like that one person who just doesn't do anything.
Yes.
Like doesn't even try to contribute or nothing, like
And they
the
get credit for
ideas
it.
and stuff, and then they get the credit for what you did because we're in a group together.
And they spend the whole time listening to music really loud in their earbuds. And it
Or just
distracts
not
you.
participating. Okay, so let me ask you this. All those feelings you're talking about right now, that anger and resentment, do you feel any of those feelings if you were all sitting down in rows and I asked you guys to read a chapter and answer the questions at the end of the book and somebody sitting right here wasn't doing that? Would you feel anger and resentment at them?
No.
I would
No.
I
definitely
wouldn't like
talk
my
to them.
teacher.
Right.
I'd probably fall asleep.
Right, but you wouldn't feel offended at them not participating in their own learning. And I argue that the reason you don't feel offended is because you're not learning either. You're not really losing anything by them not participating. But if you're in a group work and someone is not participating, what are you losing out on?
Their input.
Right.
Just like where my dad's a carpenter and he works with a group of guys and they have to get stuff done before the end of the day or a certain date. And if one person's not doing what they're supposed to or doesn't do it right, then my dad kind of has to pay for it because he's the job manager.
Right.
That sounds like
Screws
my
everybody up.
my dad's brother. He's like that.
Right. So that's the thing. I think
Slackers.
I appreciate you guys interviewing me. You were very tough questions.
Was everything that we were just talking about recorded on there? Everything that
And
we
it
just
still
said.
is.
Mm-hmm. It's still
Oh
going.
wow.
I'll push stop.
Bye.
Bye.